I'm Greg Watkins, Executive Director of the British Chamber of Commerce, Thailand. Welcome back to this continued series of Grant Thornton on Business with Greg Watkins. I'm joined by Chris Cracknell, Chairman of Grant Thornton and an Honorary Advisor to the BCCT Board, and we are discussing business recovery post-COVID-19. Chris, as companies look to the future, what issues do you anticipate they will encounter?
Thank you, Greg. I think a lot of things have changed for businesses, whether it's the increase in working from home, whether it is the increase of online shopping, maybe it's a smaller change as social change within food and entertainment, people buying food, having it delivered home, and entertaining more people at home, certainly as an increasing trend. Some of these social trends actually will never go back to where they were before. So for businesses looking forward, I think they need to identify many routes or many new opportunities and not just try and build the old model and say it will be the same as it was before. Technology will play a much bigger part. I can see people being less keen or companies being less keen to employ staff in the numbers they've used before. So perhaps greater outsourcing will be apparent. The routes to market by which you sell or exchange communication with your client base will also change with a greater use of technology. Shops and things, yes, retail will still have shops, and I think in Asia, shops will still be very much part of the experience. But they may be only to go there and view the product, and they'll still perhaps buy, the clients will then buy online afterwards. So the businesses of tomorrow will have to deal with clients, customers that want to buy in a different way, have new social values, and the way those organizations behave will be different. But I also think it is full of opportunity. We shouldn't always think that tomorrow is negative. Actually, for the agile, it is really positive. For new startups who identify new ways of working, it's really positive. And that's what's going to drive the growth and put back some growth into the country GDP, whether it's here in Thailand or around the world elsewhere.
Thanks, Chris. With all this uncertainty out there, what is the general stance that businesses should take as they plan out their strategy for the years ahead?
I think the first thing is that businesses have to look at their resilience. What is the resilience around their supply chain? Is it multiple supply chains or a single supply chain that may be vulnerable in another crisis? I think businesses must look at their people, their succession plans, and not just succession plans at the top of organizations, but also succession plans lower down in the organization. Who is going to succeed in the plant manager role, or who is going to succeed in the supply chain role for the future? I think these are pressures that many organizations wouldn't have considered a priority in the past, but they must do now. Crisis management preparation. We've had this pandemic. I think it's been a big learning lesson for us. I think insurance companies will change the way they look at fees for insurance for certain aspects and certain businesses. They will look for business continuity plans, crisis management plans, and a resilience to be built into organizations for the future. The technology aspects in companies of today and tomorrow will also be paramount. How can we use technology to be more effective, more responsive, to communicate better with clients? How can we use technology to make our organization more robust? Look how we're using video conferencing instead of face-to-face meetings now in this crisis as just the way we do business. It will present challenge, but out of challenge will also come opportunity. And I think businesses will need to adapt and embrace that opportunity. And the ones that do will be more successful. And those employees and those business leaders that embrace it in their own way of and their own style of leadership will also be the most successful. So opportunity exists. It's just we need to identify it first.
Thanks, Chris. I see from my own experience that I and my team are learning new skills through this crisis, and they will only make us stronger as the recovery deepens and opportunities present themselves.